Evan, you're up early again, Lena said as she leaned against the kitchen doorway. Her hair was messy, her voice soft, the kind of morning softness that used to calm me. I couldn't sleep, I told her. The forecast said it might rain. Mom always loved rainy mornings. I touched the antique watch on my wrist, the thin brown leather band warm for my skin. Lena walked closer and smiled. You're thinking about her again. Yeah, I whispered. I miss her more on quiet days. She placed a hand on my shoulder. Your mom would be proud of you. You work harder than anyone I know. I'm just trying to keep my life steady, I said. Finance is easier than emotions. She laughed lightly. That's the most Evan thing you've said this week. I smiled back, because that was what I always did with her. Smile, trust, love. What's on your schedule today? I asked. A few HR meetings, she replied. One with that new intern. I think his name is Zane. He seems sweet. Sweet. I raised a brow. He nearly fainted during orientation. I said sweet, not strong, she teased. I chuckled and poured her coffee. You're too kind to everyone. That's not a bad thing, she said, lifting the mug. Anyway, what about you? Big numbers. Big clients. Just the usual, I said. Spreadsheets, budgets, people pretending they know more than they do. She rolled her eyes. Finance men and their egos. Hey, I'm ego-free, I argued. She smirked. That watch is your ego. No, I corrected gently. This watch is my mother. Her expression softened again. I know. I'm just teasing. She reached out and touched the watch. I like seeing it on you. Makes you look grounded. It keeps me that way, I said quietly. She gave it to me before her last surgery. Said, if one day you lose your way, look at this and remember who you are. Lena's voice softened even more. You tell that story every time I bring up the watch. Then stop touching it, I joked, nudging her lightly. She laughed and hugged me. Okay. The warmth between us was familiar. Safe. The kind of softness that made me believe our future would be simple and good. Around 8, my phone buzzed. Erin's name popped up. Answer it, Lena said, sipping her coffee. I picked up. What's up, man? Are you coming tonight? Erin asked. Sophia's cooking. She said if you skip again, she'll drag you out herself. I laughed. Tell her I'll come. I don't want to get tackled by a 5'2" monster. She heard that, he warned. A muffled shout came through the line. Come hungry or don't come at all. I grinned. I'll be there. Good. Also, bring Lena. She has work late, I said. Lena raised her voice from across the counter. I might come. Depends on how the meetings go. Erin replied, then both of you better show. No excuses. The call ended with his usual chaos. I turned back to Lena. You sure you want to go? Maybe, she said. I'll text you later. Something in her tone felt different. Not cold. Not distant. Just off. But I pushed the thought aside because love, at least for me, always meant giving the benefit of the doubt. As I grabbed my bag, she brushed my cheek. Drive safe, okay? I will. I leaned in and kissed her forehead. See you tonight. Maybe, she murmured. When I stepped out of the apartment, I paused. She didn't usually say, maybe. She always said, yes, even when she was busy. Still, I told myself I was imagining things. Stress. Work. Life. At the elevator, the door slid open, and Sophia's voice filled my mind again. Her teasing, her warmth. My friends felt like the only stable thing left besides the watch strapped to my wrist. On the drive to work, I tapped the watch lightly. Mom, I muttered, if something's wrong, I hope I'm just overthinking. But even as I said it, I felt a quiet unease settle inside me. A small shift. A tiny crack. Like something in my life had already started breaking. And I was the last one to notice. The apartment was quiet when I came home. Too quiet. I dropped my keys on the counter and heard a faint whisper coming from the bedroom. I froze when I heard Lena's voice, soft but tense. I promise I'll make it up to you. I'm sorry I hurt you. My stomach tightened. I stepped closer, barely breathing. No, don't say it like that, she whispered. I didn't mean for it to. The floor creaked under my shoe, and she gasped. I'll call you back, she said quickly. The call ended. I walked into the doorway. Who were you talking to? She jumped. Evan. You scared me. That didn't answer my question. She clutched her phone. It was work stuff. HR issues. You know how messy things get. Messy enough to say you hurt someone? Her eyes flickered. You misunderstood. Then explain it. I can't explain work calls every time you hear one, she snapped. The sudden bite in her tone shocked me. I wasn't accusing you, I said carefully. I just heard something that didn't sound like work. Well, it was, she insisted, turning away. A small crack formed in my chest. Okay, I whispered. If you say so. I do say so, she replied sharply. I forced a smile. I'm not trying to fight. She sighed. Neither am I. I'm just stressed. I nodded slowly. All right. But the unease stayed with me through the night. The next morning at the office, I tried to push everything aside. I buried my head in spreadsheets until Aaron knocked on the cubicle wall. Bro, you look like you slept inside a printer, he said. I'm fine. Lie again, he dared. I shook my head. Just tired. Aaron leaned closer. Is it Lena? I tensed. Why would you say that? You only look like this when it's about her. I swallowed hard. I think she's hiding something. Want to talk about it? No, I said too quickly. Not yet. All right, he said, hands up. But don't carry it alone. Before I could answer, I heard someone drop a pen behind me. Sorry, a shaky voice said. I turned and saw Zane, the new intern, thin, nervous, always looking like someone had yelled at him his whole life. Aaron grinned. Hey, it's the legend himself. How's your first week, man? Zane fumbled with the papers in his hands. Good. Trying not to get fired. No one's firing you, I told him. Just ask if you're confused. Really? He asked, surprised. Thanks, sir. Don't call me sir, I said. Makes me feel old. He laughed awkwardly. Sorry. Evan. Aaron elbowed me as Zane walked off. See? You're still the office hero. I didn't feel like one. Later that evening, I walked toward the parking lot and stopped when I saw Lena leaning against her car. She wasn't alone. Zane stood beside her. They were laughing. Laughing. My chest tightened again. I walked toward them. Lena. She flinched when she saw me. Evan. I was waiting for you. Zane stepped back immediately. Hi. I didn't know you were here. I stared at him. Didn't know I work here? Or didn't know you were laughing with my fiancée in a parking lot? His face went pale. Lena cut him off. We were just talking. He had questions about HR paperwork. HR paperwork is hilarious now? I asked, my voice low. It's not like that, she said sharply. Why are you acting jealous? I'm not acting, I replied. Zane held up his hands. I should go. Yes, I said without breaking eye contact with Lena. You should. He practically ran. Lena folded her arms. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with me? I repeated. Maybe the fact that I heard you apologizing to someone last night. She stiffened. I told you, it was work. And now you're laughing with an intern alone in a parking lot? You're twisting this, she snapped. You're being unfair. I'm asking questions, I said. And you keep dodging them. She looked away. I don't owe you a report of every minute of my day. You don't, I agreed. But something feels different. She rolled her eyes. Maybe you're just paranoid. Maybe, I whispered. But my gut isn't usually wrong. Well, it is this time, she said. Can we go home? I'm cold. I nodded slowly. Yeah. Let's go. We walked to the car in silence. Her steps were quick, almost nervous. Mine were heavy. Something inside me split, small but sharp, like a seam beginning to tear. And I felt the first real fear of losing everything. I woke up to a strange stillness and reached instinctively for my watch. My hand closed on empty wood, and a cold wave slammed through me. I sat up fast and whispered, "No, no, this can't be happening." I threw the blankets aside and searched the shelf again with shaking hands. The spot was still empty, and panic rose inside me like burning smoke. "Lena!" I shouted, my voice cracking before I could steady myself. She stepped out of the bathroom and frowned like she didn't understand my fear. "What's wrong with you this early?" she asked, drying her hair slowly. "My watch is gone," I said, trying not to sound like I was suffocating. She blinked and shrugged. "Maybe you misplaced it. You're always rushing at night." "I don't misplace that watch," I said, my voice shaking with rising dread. She crossed her arms. "Evan, you're scaring me. It's not that serious." "It is serious," I whispered. "It's the last thing I have of my mom." She looked away for a second too long, and something sharp twisted in my gut. "You really didn't see it?" I asked, searching her face for anything honest. "No," she said quickly, a little too quickly for me to ignore. I opened the closet and pulled her purse down, the dread turning into something darker. "Why are you touching my stuff?" she snapped, stepping closer with sudden irritation. "Because I know you know something," I said, heart pounding against my ribs. I opened the purse and froze when I saw a small empty gift box inside. The size matched my watch perfectly, and my breath left me in a sharp gasp. "What is this?" I asked quietly, holding up the box with my shaking hand. She froze, then tried to laugh. "It's nothing. Why are you going through that?" "Where's my watch, Lena?" I asked again, my voice slipping into something raw. She threw her hands up. "Why are you being so dramatic? It's just a watch." Her words hit me like a blade, sharp enough to slice through every memory we shared. "It's not just a watch," I whispered, feeling something inside me collapse. She turned away again. "Maybe you lost it yourself. Don't put this on me." I clenched my jaw. "I want the truth. No excuses. No attitude. Just the truth." She glared at me like I was the one breaking something, not her. "I don't have it," she muttered, but her voice cracked at the end. I stared at her and felt betrayal leaking into my bones, heavy and unmistakable. "I'm not dropping this," I said. "Something is wrong, and you know it." She walked past me, refusing to meet my eyes, her silence louder than shouting. I grabbed my jacket and stepped into the hallway, needing air before I exploded. I called Aaron first. "I need you," I said. "Something isn't right with Lena." He answered instantly. "Where are you? Talk to me. What happened now?" "Just meet me," I said, already walking toward the elevator with a shaking breath. Sophia called a moment later. Aaron told me. "Are you okay? Do you need us?" "I need clarity," I whispered. "And I'm going to find it no matter what." My cousin Riley texted next. "Want me to come over? I can drive if needed." I typed back, "Soon. I just need to breathe before I lose control." I leaned against the wall and shut my eyes, feeling the world tilt sideways. The watch was gone, the truth slipping through the cracks Lena created with lies. I opened my eyes slowly. "I'll find out what happened," I whispered to myself. And as I walked out the door, I felt something dark settle inside my chest. Not anger yet, just a promise that I wouldn't stop until I knew everything. Whatever the truth was, I knew it was waiting for me, sharp and merciless. And for the first time, I didn't feel afraid of it. I felt ready for war. No matter what it destroyed, I was done pretending nothing was breaking inside me. I took one final breath and stepped forward, knowing the truth would change everything. For me, forever. I left the apartment before Lena finished her shower. I needed space, air, anything that wasn't her voice lying to me again. But halfway down the stairs, I heard her phone ring through the half-open window. Her voice drifted out, soft and shaky. "I'm coming. Just wait for me." My hand tightened around the railing. Coming where? I walked out to the sidewalk and stood by my car, pretending I wasn't listening. 10 minutes, she whispered. Just 10. That was enough. I got in my car but didn't leave. Instead, I waited. 10 minutes later, she rushed out, fixing her hair, checking her phone again. She didn't look around, didn't look for me, didn't even look guilty. She got in her car and drove off. All right, I muttered. Let's see it. I followed her from a distance. My heart pounded like I'd swallowed thunder. She turned into a small park near the office, parked, and stepped out. I stayed a few rows back. Then he appeared. Zane. The insecure intern who could barely hold a conversation without stuttering. He waved at her nervously. She waved back. Too warmly, too familiar. Something inside my chest twisted like a knife turned slowly. I walked closer, staying behind a line of trees. I couldn't hear them yet, but I could see the way she touched his arm, like they had shared 100 secrets I didn't know about. Then he lifted his wrist. My breath stopped. My vision blurred. My entire body froze. My mother's watch, was on his hand. I stepped out from behind the trees before I even knew I was moving. Zane, I said, my voice sounding nothing like mine. Take that off. He turned so fast he dropped his phone. Evan, I didn't know you were. Why is my mother's watch on your wrist? I asked, each word sharp enough to cut air. Lena spun around. Evan, wait. No, I snapped. Not you. Him. Explain it. Zane looked at Lena like she could save him. She didn't move. Lena said, You wouldn't mind, he whispered. She said you didn't need it. My vision went red. She said what? He flinched. I didn't want to take it, but she said it was fine. She said it didn't mean much. Not much. I stepped closer. That watch is the last thing I have of my mother, and you're wearing it like some cheap accessory. I didn't know, he stammered. She told me you wanted me to have it. She said you knew I was struggling and... Stop. My voice cracked. Just stop. Lena rushed between us. Evan, please, calm down. You're overreacting. Overreacting. I laughed, the sound jagged and broken. You stole the only thing I have left of my mother and gave it away. She gulped. I didn't steal it. You took it without asking, I said. That's the same damn thing. Zane shifted back. I don't want any trouble. I swear I didn't know. Take it off, I said again, quieter, deadlier. He scrambled to unclip it, hands shaking, and held it out to me. I didn't take it. Not yet. I stared at Lena. Why him? Of all people, why him? Her eyes glistened, guilt flickering like a weak flame. I just wanted to help him. With my mother's watch. I asked, voice breaking again. That's your idea of help? I didn't think it would matter this much, she whispered. It's the only part of her I have left, I said. How could you not know it mattered? Zane stepped back. I'm sorry. I really am. This isn't about you, I said, barely holding myself together. Go. He nodded quickly and walked away so fast he nearly tripped. When he vanished behind the cars, I finally took the watch back from Lena's trembling hand. It felt colder than I remembered. Lena reached for me. Evan, please. I stepped back. Don't. Can we just go home and talk? She begged. I messed up, okay? I didn't mean. You didn't mean. I whispered. Then what did you mean, Lena? Because this isn't a small mistake. This is betrayal. She covered her mouth as tears welled up. I didn't think you'd react like this. Then you don't know me at all. I turned and walked to my car. She followed me halfway, calling my name, but her voice barely reached me through the ringing in my ears. I got inside, shut the door, and finally let out the breath I'd been holding. Then everything crashed. My chest tightened. My vision blurred. I gripped the steering wheel and felt myself break in a way I hadn't since the day my mother died. And I cried, quiet, shaking, angry tears, because the woman I loved had handed away my mother's memory like it meant nothing. I left the apartment before Lena finished her shower. I needed space, air, anything that wasn't her voice lying to me again. But halfway down the stairs, I heard her phone ring through the half-open window. Her voice drifted out, soft and shaky. "I'm coming. Just wait for me." My hand tightened around the railing. Coming where? I walked out to the sidewalk and stood by my car, pretending I wasn't listening. 10 minutes, she whispered. Just 10. That was enough. I got in my car but didn't leave. Instead, I waited. 10 minutes later, she rushed out, fixing her hair, checking her phone again. She didn't look around, didn't look for me, didn't even look guilty. She got in her car and drove off. "All right," I muttered. "Let's see it." I followed her from a distance. My heart pounded like I'd swallowed thunder. She turned into a small park near the office, parked, and stepped out. I stayed a few rows back. Then he appeared. Zane. The insecure intern who could barely hold a conversation without stuttering. He waved at her nervously. She waved back. Too warmly, too familiar. Something inside my chest twisted like a knife turned slowly. I walked closer, staying behind a line of trees. I couldn't hear them yet, but I could see the way she touched his arm, like they had shared 100 secrets I didn't know about. Then he lifted his wrist. My breath stopped. My vision blurred. My entire body froze. My mother's watch, was on his hand. I stepped out from behind the trees before I even knew I was moving. "Zane," I said, my voice sounding nothing like mine. "Take that off." He turned so fast he dropped his phone. "Evan, I didn't know you were. Why is my mother's watch on your wrist?" I asked, each word sharp enough to cut air. Lena spun around. "Evan, wait." "No," I snapped. "Not you. Him. Explain it." Zane looked at Lena like she could save him. She didn't move. Lena said, "You wouldn't mind," he whispered. "She said you didn't need it." My vision went red. She said what? He flinched. I didn't want to take it, but she said it was fine. She said it didn't mean much. Not much. I stepped closer. "That watch is the last thing I have of my mother. And you're wearing it like some cheap accessory." I didn't know," he stammered. "She told me you wanted me to have it. She said you knew I was struggling and—" "Stop." My voice cracked. "Just stop." Lena rushed between us. "Evan, please, calm down. You're overreacting." "Overreacting." I laughed, the sound jagged and broken. "You stole the only thing I have left of my mother and gave it away." She gulped. "I didn't steal it." "You took it without asking," I said. "That's the same damn thing." Zane shifted back. I don't want any trouble. I swear I didn't know." "Take it off," I said again, quieter, deadlier. He scrambled to unclip it, hands shaking, and held it out to me. I didn't take it. Not yet. I stared at Lena. Why him? Of all people, why him? Her eyes glistened, guilt flickering like a weak flame. "I just wanted to help him. With my mother's watch." I asked, voice breaking again. "That's your idea of help?" "I didn't think it would matter this much," she whispered. "It's the only part of her I have left," I said. "How could you not know it mattered?" Zane stepped back. "I'm sorry. I really am. This isn't about you," I said, barely holding myself together. "Go." He nodded quickly and walked away so fast he nearly tripped. When he vanished behind the cars, I finally took the watch back from Lena's trembling hand. It felt colder than I remembered. Lena reached for me. "Evan, please." I stepped back. "Don't. Can we just go home and talk?" she begged. "I messed up, okay? I didn't mean." "You didn't mean." I whispered. "Then what did you mean, Lena? Because this isn't a small mistake. This is betrayal." She covered her mouth as tears welled up. "I didn't think you'd react like this. Then you don't know me at all." I turned and walked to my car. She followed me halfway, calling my name, but her voice barely reached me through the ringing in my ears. I got inside, shut the door, and finally let out the breath I'd been holding. Then everything crashed. My chest tightened. My vision blurred. I gripped the steering wheel and felt myself break in a way I hadn't since the day my mother died. And I cried, quiet, shaking, angry tears, because the woman I loved had handed away my mother's memory like it meant nothing. I woke up with a strange calm in my chest, the kind that only comes after everything inside finally burns down. I looked at my reflection and whispered, "No more begging. No more being the quiet one." My voice sounded different, colder, firmer. I picked up my phone and started the first step of ending her perfect fantasy. I called Aaron. "I'm sending you something," I said. "What's going on?" he asked. "Proof," I replied. "Everything she's done. I need you to see it." He exhaled sharply. "Send it. Whatever you need, I'm with you." I forwarded the photos, the messages, the hotel receipts, the video of her handing Zane my watch. It hurt to even look at the preview. A minute later, he called back. "Evan, this is insane," he said. "I can't believe she did," I cut in. "And I'm done pretending she didn't." He paused. "What's your plan?" "Something she'll feel," I said. "Not violent. Not loud. Just permanent." I ended the call before he could reply. My hands didn't shake this time. Next, I called Sophia. She picked up instantly. "Evan, your voice sounds clear," I said. "I need to tell you something. Tell me everything." I explained each step. The cheating, the manipulation, the watch. Her voice broke. "I'm so sorry. I never trusted that girl. What are you going to do?" "I'm going to end her fairy tale," I said. "Piece by piece." She didn't hesitate. "Good. She deserves it. Whatever you're planning. I'm behind you." I nodded, even though she couldn't see. "Thank you." Then I opened the folder on my laptop labeled Proof. Screenshots, recordings, messages, all arranged neatly. I saved everything to a hard drive and then drafted an email to her company's compliance department. I didn't send it yet, but knowing it was ready made something inside me settle. Next was the engagement venue. I called the coordinator. "This is Evan," I said. "I need everything cancelled." There was a brief pause. "All of it. All of it," I repeated. "The hall, the catering, the decorations. Everything." "Understood. I'll process the cancellation." "Send confirmation to my email," I said. "Not hers." When I hung up, I felt something loosen in my spine. One brick of her fairy tale gone. I logged into our joint account next. The moment I saw her name beside mine, I felt a bitter taste rise in my mouth. I clicked through the settings and removed her access. One tap. One confirmation. "Done." I whispered, "You don't get to spend my future." I grabbed my keys and drove across the city until I reached the small cafe where I told Zane to meet me. He looked nervous, tapping his foot, eyes darting around. "Evan," he said shakily, "I didn't think you'd actually—" "Shut up," I cut in. "I'm giving you one chance." He swallowed hard. "I swear I didn't mean to get involved. She told me you didn't care about the watch." "She said." "I don't care what she said." I leaned forward. "Return the watch, or I take legal action for theft." His face drained. I don't have it on me." "Get it," I said. "You have 24 hours." He nodded quickly. "I'll bring it. I swear. I didn't want trouble." "Too late," I muttered. I walked out before he could breathe another useless apology. When I got home, Lena was sitting on the floor, surrounded by wedding catalogs, makeup smudged, hair tangled. She looked like someone who just watched her world crumble. "Evan," she choked out. "Why did the venue call me? They said the engagement is cancelled." "What are you doing to me?" "Correcting my mistakes," I said. She crawled toward me, grabbing my wrist. "You can't do this. Please. We can fix it. Tell me what you want me to say, I'll say it." "I don't want you to say anything," I replied. "I want you to face what you did." She sobbed loudly. "You're ruining everything. My mom is furious. Everyone will talk. Everyone will blame me. That's not my problem anymore." She shook her head violently. "We have guests coming, deposits paid, plans." "All gone," I said calmly. She stared at me like she didn't recognize me. "You're not the man I fell in love with." "Exactly," I said. "That man tolerated the lies." Her voice broke. "Please, please don't leave me like this." "You left first," I whispered. "You just didn't notice." She collapsed onto the rug, shaking. I watched her quietly. No guilt. No hesitation. Her fairy tale shattered. And I didn't feel a single urge to pick up the pieces. I woke to the sound of my phone buzzing. Aaron's name flashed on the screen. "Evan, it's happening," he said immediately. "What?" I asked, calm, holding my coffee. "Zane. He confessed everything. Lena manipulated him. Emotionally, financially, everything." I set my mug down slowly. "Good. About time the truth came out." Aaron hesitated. Are you okay?" "I'm fine," I said, calm. Finally. Later that day, I walked into the office, and whispers followed me like a trail of smoke. People glanced at me, lowered their voices, stared at Lena when she entered. Her steps faltered, her heels clicking unevenly on the floor. "Evan," she said, panic slipping through the cracks of her carefully painted mask. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. The tension spoke for me. Zane approached my desk, his hands trembling. I have to give you this," he stammered, holding out a small box. I opened it and found my mother's watch. My fingers closed around it slowly. "Thank you," I said quietly, holding it like a piece of her soul returning. I'm sorry," he muttered. "I didn't realize, she told me it was okay, but I see now it wasn't. I shouldn't have." "Stop," I said softly. "You did what you were told. Just don't let it happen again." He nodded quickly and walked away. I didn't watch him leave. I just sat there, feeling something heavy lift. By the next morning, rumors had spread like wildfire. Emails circulated. Gossip crawled through the halls. Lena's name was mentioned in hushed tones, in pointed looks, in the careful distance people maintained around her. Vivian stormed into my office, fuming. "Evan, you can't do this to my daughter." "She made her choices," I said evenly. "I just let the truth catch up." "You don't understand," Vivian shouted. "She didn't mean." "I understand perfectly," I interrupted. "She lied. She cheated. She stole from me. And now she's facing the consequences of her actions." Vivian's hands trembled. "I will fix this. You don't know what you're doing. You'll regret." I leaned back in my chair. "No. Vivian. I'm finally free. I don't regret a thing. I'm not doing this to hurt her. I'm doing it to save myself." She glared at me, but there was nothing she could do. I could see the anger and frustration simmering, but it wouldn't reach me. Not anymore. Later that evening, rain hammered the streets outside. I sat on the couch, watching the water streak down the windows. My phone buzzed. Lena. I ignored it. The screen blinked. Ignored. Blinked again. Ignored. Minutes later, the doorbell rang. I didn't move. She rang again. And again. Finally, I opened the door a crack. She stood there, drenched, hair plastered to her face, eyes red from crying. "Evan, please," she begged, voice shaking. "I didn't want to lose you. I made a mistake. I love you. I swear I do." I studied her, taking in the soaked clothes, the pleading eyes, the broken posture. My heart beat steadily, cold and unflinching. "I know," I said quietly. Her lips trembled. Then please, let me in. Please. Just, let me talk." I shook my head gently. "Lena, it's too late." Her shoulders slumped. "No, please. Don't leave me like this." "I'm not leaving," I said. "I just can't let you in. Not like this." She whispered, But I can fix it. I can. You can't fix what's broken, I interrupted softly. Not now. Not after everything. Tears ran down her cheeks. She reached out one last time. I didn't move. I didn't step forward. I'll wait, she whispered, voice small and cracked. I'll wait for you. I'm not the person you can wait for anymore, I said, keeping my voice even. The only thing left to do is face what you've done. Her body slumped further, shivering in the rain. I held the door firmly, shutting it gently in front of her. No slamming. No noise. Just a quiet, deliberate end. I stepped back, letting the rain sound fill the hallway. I felt the weight of the moment settle over me like a heavy blanket, tearful, raw, but satisfying. The fairy tale she built had crumbled, and I didn't feel joy. I felt freedom. I felt the cold clarity of a life reclaimed. I touched my mother's watch lightly, pressed it against my chest. My heart ached, yes, but it was mine again. And for the first time in months, I breathed without the shadow of betrayal over me. I sat at the corner table of the cafe, hands wrapped around a lukewarm cup of coffee. The rain had stopped, but the city still shimmered wet and cold outside. I didn't move when she slid into the seat across from me. "Evan," she whispered. Her voice was small, fragile, trembling. I didn't respond. I just looked at her. Calm. Empty. She took a deep breath. I need to say everything. I can't keep hiding it anymore. I nodded slowly. Go on. She swallowed hard. I was insecure. Always comparing myself to everyone. Jealous, afraid I wasn't enough. And when Zane, he paid attention, her lips trembled. I wanted to feel wanted. Needed. I didn't think about how it would hurt you. I sipped my coffee. It did. Her eyes widened. I know. And I'm so sorry. I was empty, and I tried to fill it with things I didn't deserve. You loved me, and I shook my head slightly. I did. I loved you once. I really did. But you traded the only thing I had left of my mother for what? A fleeting feeling of importance? A cheap illusion of affection? She flinched. I didn't see it that way. I thought I was helping someone. You destroyed us the moment you put that watch on his wrist, I said, voice calm, almost flat. Everything after that was just damage control. And you lost before you even realized it. She pressed her palms to her face. I never wanted to hurt you like this. I didn't mean for it to spiral out of control. I thought I could fix myself while still keeping you. Fixing yourself doesn't involve stealing from me, I replied. It doesn't involve lying, manipulating, or trading memories that aren't yours to give. Her shoulders slumped. I know now. I see it. And I feel it, every single day. The emptiness, the guilt, the regret. I've never faced myself until now. I leaned back, still calm. It's too late to face me. The damage is done. The trust we had, the life we planned, it's gone. And no apology will bring it back. She reached into her bag slowly, fumbling. I brought this. She set a small velvet box on the table. Inside was my mother's ring, the engagement ring she thought she could hold on to. I looked at it, then back at her. I'm taking it. Not because I want it, but because you don't deserve to keep it. She nodded, tears streaking her cheeks. I understand. I know I can't undo what I did. I picked up the ring, holding it in my palm for a long moment. I loved you. I trusted you. I gave you everything I had left for my mother and everything I had left of my heart. And you threw it away. Her body shivered. I know. And I hate myself for it. Every second. I hope you never forget that, I said softly. Not because I want to hurt you, but because it's the only way you'll truly see yourself. See what you did. See the person you became. She covered her face with her hands, shaking. I see it. I see myself. And it crushes me. I can't believe I let it happen. I stood slowly, leaving the ring on the table. I won't look back, I said. I don't need to. Closure is mine. It's the peace I earn from walking away." Her shoulders shook as she whispered, "Evan, please." I shook my head, gently, but firmly. "No. This is where it ends. Not with forgiveness, not with revenge. Just the truth. You face yourself. I walk forward." I turned and walked out, my steps steady on the wet pavement. The rain-slick streets reflected the city lights, but I didn't see them. I only felt the calm in my chest, the quiet certainty of leaving behind the wreckage she created. Behind me, she sat in silence, staring at the ring, at the empty cup, at the space where I had been. And for the first time, she truly faced herself, and it broke her completely. The mornings were quiet now, peaceful in a way I hadn't felt for months. I walked along the same streets I used to rush past, noticing small details, the cracked pavement, the smell of coffee from the corner cafe, the way sunlight filtered through the trees. Aaron met me at our favorite cafe. "You look lighter," he said, setting down a steaming cup. "I feel lighter," I admitted. "It's strange. I thought I'd be empty forever, but I'm not." Sophia joined us, sliding into the booth beside me. "You've changed, Evan. Stronger. Clearer." I nodded, staring into my coffee. Betrayal broke me, yes, but it also pushed me to see things I never wanted to notice. About her, about people, about myself. Aaron smirked. "So, you're saying misery had a silver lining?" I chuckled softly. "Something like that." Later that week, Riley came over. "You've been avoiding your apartment," he said, looking around my now simple, quiet space. "How's the watch?" I touched it gently, feeling its weight against my palm. "It's back where it belongs." I finally let go of the anger surrounding it. "Mom's memory, it's still mine." Riley nodded. "Good. That's important. Healing starts with reclaiming what's yours." I exhaled slowly. I've been walking every evening, retracing paths I ignored before. Just thinking, breathing, remembering her without letting the past eat me alive. A notification pinged on my phone. "Zane." I hesitated, then opened the message. "Evan, I know it's late, but I want to apologize again. I didn't mean to hurt you. I realize now what she did, and I hope you can forgive me." I stared at the words. My chest tightened briefly, then relaxed. I typed back. "I accept your apology. Don't carry guilt for what wasn't your choice. Just learn from it." He replied quickly. "Thank you. I really mean it." I set the phone down, feeling a weight lift. Letting go didn't make me weak, it made me free. Sophia called later. "Walk with me," she asked. "I need some air." We strolled through the park, watching the leaves fall. "I never thought I'd see the day when I could feel calm after everything," I said. "But it's possible." "Betrayal changes people," Sophia said softly. "But so does clarity. You've found yours." I nodded. "I've realized that love, trust, and memories are precious. They shape us. And when someone breaks them, it's devastating. But it also teaches you who you truly are." Aaron joined us that evening at the park. "You've been different since we started these walks," he said. "Less anger, more presence. You're enjoying life again." "I think I am," I admitted. "I focus on work, on friends, on small things that matter. I even laugh sometimes without guilt or fear." "Good," Aaron said, smiling. "You deserve that." Walking home, I stopped under a street lamp, the light catching the watch on my wrist. "Mom," I whispered, "I'm doing my best. I'm living. And I'm finally okay." Sophia nudged me gently. "You're stronger than you think. You've reclaimed yourself, Evan." "I feel it," I said quietly. "I see clearly now. Betrayal hurt, yes. It broke me, but it also cleared the fog. I understand what matters, and I refuse to let the past dictate my future." That night, I sat by the window, listening to the city hum softly. I thought about Lena, about what happened, and realized the anger no longer had a home inside me. My chest felt lighter, freer. I picked up the watch, turning it slowly in my hands. The memories were mine, untarnished. Painful, yes, but also beautiful in the lessons it carried. Zane's apology, Aaron and Sophia's support, Riley's reminders, they all reminded me that life continues. Healing isn't about forgetting. It's about living with the truth and learning to breathe again. I whispered softly, to no one in particular, I found myself. Finally. And I won't lose it again. For the first time in months, I felt whole. Not because the past disappeared, but because I finally stood tall, holding on to my life, my memories, and my clarity. The streets outside glowed softly, and I walked on, each step steady, each breath mine. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the small velvet box. My fingers trembled slightly as I opened it. The watch lay there, gleaming softly in the morning light. My mother's watch. The one I thought I'd never touch again. I picked it up slowly, feeling its weight. It's been a long time, I whispered, pressing it to my palm. Too long. Aaron called as I slipped it onto my wrist. You finally wearing it again? He asked. Yes, I said, smiling faintly. Feels like taking a piece of my life back. Good, he said. You deserve that. You've been through hell. I nodded, looking into the mirror across from me. The man staring back wasn't the one who broke down in my car months ago. He wasn't lost, angry, or desperate. He was steady, sharp, aware. You okay? Aaron asked again. Better than okay, I said. I'm me again. Stronger. Clearer. The watch ticked softly, each second a heartbeat. I closed my eyes for a moment, letting the sound fill the quiet room. Mom's voice seemed to echo somewhere in the corners of my mind. You're stronger than you know, Evan. I opened my eyes and checked my phone. Lena's name flashed on the screen. A call. I stared at it, the old instinct to answer flickering, but I shook my head. No, I muttered to myself. Not this time. The phone rang again. I let it ring. Once. Twice. 3 times. Then it went to voicemail. Aaron laughed softly on the other line. Looks like you finally chose peace over pain. I did, I said quietly. No regrets. No anger. Just moving forward. Sophia called shortly after. You sound calm, she said. I'm proud of you. I smiled, a real one this time. It's a new day, Sophia. I've rebuilt myself from the wreckage. I can breathe again. Riley stopped by in the afternoon. That watch suits you, he said, glancing at my wrist. Not the jewelry. It's like it's a part of who you are now. I nodded. It is. And it reminds me of survival, of clarity, of what matters. Not the past, not betrayal, not lies. Just me. Later, I walked to the window and opened it. The sunlight spilled into the room, warm on my skin. The city hummed quietly below. Cars, people, life going on. I took a deep breath, feeling it fill every part of me. Zane texted again. I hope you're doing well. I smiled faintly, then typed back. I am. I hope you are too. No lingering anger, no bitterness. I refused to carry what wasn't mine to hold. I walked to the mirror again, turning my wrist to watch the small, precise ticking. Each beat, steady and reassuring, felt like a heartbeat of its own. I pressed my palm against it. I survived, I whispered. I lost, I hurt, I rebuilt. And I'm still here. The phone buzzed once more. Lena. Another call. I stared at the screen, my finger hovering. Then I let it ring out again, letting it fade into silence. No guilt. No hesitation. Just peace. I stepped outside, feeling the sunlight hit my face fully. The warmth seeped into my chest, into my bones. I lifted my wrist, listening closely. Tick, tick, tick. A smile touched my lips. Not a victory smile, not a triumphant one. Just relief. Just clarity. Just life. I started walking down the street, past the familiar buildings, past the small corner cafe, past the streets where I once wandered lost in anger and grief. Each step felt lighter than the last. Each breath steady, controlled, mine. The watch ticked like a heartbeat, a soft, constant reminder that I had rebuilt myself from the ruins. That I survived the betrayal, the lies, the heartbreak. That I reclaimed my life, my memories, my worth. And for the first time in a long time, I felt truly whole. The sunlight on my face, the watch on my wrist, the city alive around me, I had everything I needed. I didn't look back. I didn't want to. Mom's watch ticked quietly, perfectly, steadily. And I walked forward, knowing I had found myself again.